Hi, I'm Caroline, an MBA student at the UOWD. Along with my colleagues Daniel, Iman, and Ramsha, we will present a study case on Stanley's decision strategy. In this video, we'll cover a brief introduction about Stanley with key information about the decision to be studied as well as the company. Pastel, Porter's five forces, stakeholder and internal analysis, as well as SWOT and TOS analysis to understand how these factors impacted the decision. At the end, an implementation and evaluation of the whole process will be presented.
You probably know somebody using it or even have your own Stanley Cup. But the question is, why is everybody buying it? So many colors and so many products, and who would pay such high price? The answer to this question is not as simple as a TikTok trend. You might even link this notion to a recent video where a Stanley tumbler belonging to a woman survived the car explosion, further reinforcing this belief. The brand from Seattle has been around for over 100 years. Stanley was founded in 1913 by William Stanley Jr., a Yale student who invented a steel vacuum container to keep hot things hot and cold things cold. The product has always been recognized as synonymous of trust, quality, and durability. The drinkware manufacturer had made a place for itself in the lunchbox of blue-collar workers and was initially produced in only four different colors. Gradually, over the years, they shifted towards a segment of men interested in camping, hiking, sports, and nature. Nowadays, however, the brand caters to a significant different audience from its early days. In 2019, the Stanley Kensher gained significant exposure on an e-commerce platform called The Buy Guide. They decided to purchase 5,000 Kenshers, one of the Stanley's most popular products, targeting a female audience to sell it, and they just sold out in 5 days. The three women behind the website convinced the company to restock the product. This moment was also where the brand figured out they had to reinvent itself, and to do so, they decided to hire an expert. Terrence Raleigh is the mind behind this transformation. He served as the marketing director of Crocs for 6 years and was responsible for turning the product from something considered cringe and undesirable into something cool. In 2020, he assumed the presidency of Stanley and replicated his success. The brand transitioned from a male and nature-loving audience to a more vibrant, diverse identity, aiming to attract mostly young female audience. The cups are hugely popular between the Gen Z, but also the key to this revolution was the Quencher 2.0, the same product featured in the viral Fire Car video. Therefore, the decision to be analyzed is the marketing reposition Stanley definitely went through. With vibrant colors and modern design, this product line not only captured a different market segment, but also became a sensation on the internet. If you search Stanley Quencher on any social media, you will see numerous videos of women sharing their Stanley experiences and lifestyle. The success of the brand is evident in numbers also. In 2019, Stanley had a solid revenue of $74 million, dollars, and by 2023, it soared to an incredible $750 million, according to the CNBC. This remarkable growth was attributed to the rebranding of the products, limited editions, collaborations with internet influencers, and a profound understanding of what the current audience is looking for. Now let's delve into the pastel analysis to examine the macro-environmental factors influencing Stanley. Starting with the political aspect, Stanley complies with government regulations for recyclable materials, tackling plastic waste and demonstrating a commitment to sustainability. Regarding the economical factors, Stanley considers the economic impact on stainless steel, silicone, Trident plastic, and powder coat finishes, aligning the products with consumer purchasing power for sustainability. As for the social aspect, the focus on durable material meets the rising demand for sustainable products, reducing repurchasing and waste. In technology, Stanley prioritizes continuous improvement for efficient and sustainable production by integrating the latest advancements while ensuring high quality standards and staying in the forefront of innovation. Shifting to the legal domain, Stanley prioritized safety standards and adhered to legal obligations regarding the usage of recycled materials, reinforcing their commitment to quality and sustainability. Last, under the environmental lens, they take pride in their contribution to reducing waste and resource overextraction. By encouraging the consumers to make the switch from plastic water bottles to durable stainless steel designs, they not only foster environmentally conscious choice, but also establish Stanley as the leader for the century.
Next, the analysis of Porter's five forces will allow us to evaluate the attractiveness of entering the drinkware market. This growing market is characterized by the dominance of Stanley products, which has become the result of ubiquitous internet trends, mainly in TikTok and Twitch in 2023. In the last year, dozens of aggressive competitors appeared that offered a deep discount on their primarily more affordable price alternatives between $25 to $45, which is lower than the average Stanley's price of about $45. Although the biopower obtains low concentration as it relies mainly on the female segment between 25 to 50 years old worldwide and low switching costs, the buyers seem to grant high loyalty to Stanley, which originated the trend. The possible substitutes include used bottles to keep liquid cool and thermoses to keep it warm. Each alternative is cheaper. However, Stanley Cups claim to have both of these features, which just adds to its popularity. The cup making industry is presented largely by Chinese-based producers, which can take orders of minimum 500 units, ensuring that the switching costs are rather low. Regarding the entrance threats, a newcomer should expect facing the obstacles of scaling its production fast, which questions the organizational capabilities of suppliers and distributors. Stanley was able to demonstrate its 10 times growth in 1 year as a result of developed production chain and international distribution experience. And this multi-ranged service tied customers to Stanley. So the market overall seems appealing to enter because of relatively low entrance barriers. However, to grow, one must be ready to stiff competition with Stanley in the economic terms and in the minds of customers. Speaking about the stakeholders' impact on the strategy shift in 2023, the main impulse came from external ones. The story tells the owners of the online shopping blog, The Buy Guide, being fans of the Stanley Cups, discovered the growth potential among their female customers, promoting the brand and ordered 5,000 cups, which were sold out within 1 hour. Later, the customers became the main driver of product promotion, generating over 700 million views on TikTok. Thus, the Buy Guide was able to convince the board of the directors and Stanley's owners to shift focus to their signature product called Quancha, invest heavily in its production and promotion through affiliate marketing. Once the decision was confirmed by the company's owners, investors, and the board of direction, the implementation of the strategic shift lay on a team of managers and employees who were able to adapt to new production and distribution process to fundamentally new levels. The suppliers and creditors were also able to comply with the volume of production and investments.
Now we will move on to the internal analysis of Stanley. We will start with the VRIO framework. The VRIO framework primarily focuses on internal factors such as valuable resources and their potential to create a sustainable competitive advantage. The transformation of Stanley's marketing strategy is valuable, as it is tied to the specific needs the product line serves its targeted market segment. The introduction of diverse product design, aesthetic, and influencer collaboration, in addition to social media marketing, has catered to the target market who perceive product design and brand status at a higher scale. Stanley's strategy and strategic product offering is also characterized by rarity due to the high focus on product quality and durability. In addition, the strategic supplier network that Stanley has acquired through both its long-term industry reputation makes direct resources scarce for competitors who are trying to procure at smaller volumes whilst maintaining cost effectiveness. In terms of imitability, it is worthy of noting that Stanley's strategy and product offerings are inimitable, but only in the short term. This is because the disruptive nature of social media marketing and influencer collaboration can make it easier for new entrants to enter the market and divert consumer attention in a market that is already characterized by speed and an inclination to change. Thus, in order for Stanley to achieve sustained competitive advantage, it must look into adjusting its business strategy to allow for resilience, agility, and fast adaptability to changing consumer needs. It is crucial for it to look into diversifying product range or possibly expanding into other business areas as means of diversification and reducing reliance on one product line or market segment. Finally, in terms of organizational support, it is evident that, due to its longevity in the drinkware market, Stanley has established effective management structures and systems that ensure the effective utilization of its resources. Overall, we can conclude that Stanley has what is called a temporary competitive advantage. Now we will move on to the RCC framework. Resources are what Stanley has. Stanley has financial capital, which has been amplified with increased revenues through strategy transformation. It has high quality raw materials, reliable supplier network, and digitalized and well established management systems. Capabilities are what Stanley does well. So, first, we have sustainable and environment friendly manufacturing processes, knowledge and expertise in market research, allowing Stanley to fully understand consumer needs and cater to niche and mass markets. And finally, reaching targeted market segments through effective marketing campaigns through social media. Competencies are about how Stanley uses resources and capabilities to attain competitive advantage. Stanley has used its resources such as capital and high quality materials to develop durable drinkware products with multicolored design that appeal to the targeted market segments such as young females and teenagers. Through its strategic marketing, Stanley emphasized the value of owning a Stanley Cup and emphasized an emotional dimension of the product to consumers. This resulted in attaining competitive advantage where customers prefer to own a Stanley Cup over other similar products due to the emotional attachment and perceived brand status and aesthetic. Also part of internal analysis, we will move on to the consolidated analysis of SWOT and TOES matrix. Starting with strengths, Stanley's strengths include strong brand reputation, high quality products, strategic partnerships and collaborations, strong retail presence, successful social media marketing campaigns. The weaknesses include dependence on third party manufacturers, premium pricing may not appeal to all market segments, and economic sensitivity. In terms of opportunities, the opportunities include diversifying product portfolio, global expansion into emerging markets, sustainability initiatives, targeting new consumer segments, supply chain backward integration, and acquisitions and mergers. Finally, for the threats, they include intense competition and low barriers to entry in the market, changing consumer preferences, potential environmental concerns, supply chain disruptions, and heavy industry regulations that can reduce profit margins. Now we will move on to the SO strategy. What Stanley can do in this case, it can strategically collaborate with customers to offer customizable product range, which will help unlock new customer segments. It can also utilize its strong brand reputation to tap into new emerging markets. It can also use marketing campaigns to highlight sustainability initiatives and CSR efforts of the company. Moving on to the WO strategy. Stanley can target new market segments of customers who prefer premium pricing or premium products. It can also reduce dependence on third party manufacturers by backward integration in their supply chain. Now we will move on to the ST strategy. Stanley can utilize marketing campaigns to emphasize the strong brand reputation and brand status, which will combat the threat of rivalry. It can also use the strategic partnership strength to partner with government authorities and regulations or regulators, which would enhance compliance and reduce risk. It can utilize collaborations with suppliers to enter into long term partnerships to reduce supply chain disruption risk and streamline procurement and logistics processes. Finally, for the WT strategy, Stanley can diversify its pricing strategy to adapt to changing consumer preferences. And it can also utilize a premium pricing strategy to overcome the challenge of lower profit margins due to heavy regulation in the industry.
Next, let's talk about the process undertaken by Stanley. There were three processes undertaken by this company. Number one was ideology shift, number two was controlling the supply, and number three was emphasis on TikTok marketing. Let's go ahead to ideology shift. In ideology shift, we can see that the brand from being green, male, and hot has become colorful, cold, and female, as talked by the president, Terence Riley. This product earlier was marketed to blue collar workers as well as people going for hiking and trekking, but now it's been completely changed. This is now marketed to women, and it can be women of any ages, be it little children or be it working women. This product has become an aspirational product for many. Nowadays, there is a community created around Stanley. This is also known as conspicuous consumption, where people want to own this product so that they can show that they are current with the trends, that they are upper middle class, and that they're also very well hydrated. Since Stanley is owned by Harvey, which is a privately owned logistics supply chain company, they can make the product scarce if they want to. They can control the supply and demand. As we can see over here, there have been a lot of limited edition collaborations with Stanley and other brands, and Harvey can control the supply and demand, thus creating artificial scarcity and thus leading to even more sales because when the customers get the product, they want to immediately purchase them. Emphasis on social media marketing, especially TikTok. The president, Terence Riley, made a decision to mostly market this product on TikTok. And his idea was amazing because the brand has almost a million followers, 10 million likes, and every single day there are more and more videos popping up showcasing their product. They have used the virality of this platform to their advantage because most of the women, especially the younger generations, the younger children and teenagers, are on TikTok. And when they see more products on this website, the most viral products, they get even more influence to purchase them. There are three main challenges faced by the company. Number one is rigidity in the changing consumer base. Number two is change in product design. And number three is competition. Because the company was marketed to men earlier, the company did hesitate a bit to start selling to women. As mentioned earlier, the bloggers of the blog, the Buy Guide, get back to Stanley many times in order for them to start producing this item even more. There's also been in the change in of the product design. The original Stanley Flask, it was a hammer tone green normal flask, but they had to completely revamp the product and produce even more of the tumblers. So that must have also created hesitation with the supply chain and with the suppliers. And number three is competition. The biggest brands that compete with Stanley are Yeti and Hydro Flask, which these brands had also become very popular a couple of years ago, 7 to 8 years ago. But Stanley stands out by having a unique design that the brands have copied. There are also accessories that can be added to the product. A lot of women add little bags and little keychains they attach to their tumbler, which wasn't done earlier with the Hydro Flask and Yeti. Because of all of the processes, we can evaluate that Stanley has successfully increased their success. From 75 million in revenue, they have increased their business like 10 times to 750 million. The brand awareness has been through the roof, where people from different countries also want to buy the product. There is an increased competitive advantage because there are many accessories that are made only for Stanley products. And there is also a lot of loyal fans who advocate for this product. They say that they are fans for life and they're going to keep using the product even after it loses its virality. We further recommend that Stanley can grow by collaborating with women owned brands, widening the product line, collaborating with social initiatives, increasing marketing on other social media websites, expand to new markets or countries, and conduct market research to stay on top. Thank you. Please find our references on the next page.